Hola, mi gente. Look at all you freaks filing in for Freaky Friday. Welcome, welcome, freaks. Welcome to the Freaky Friday episode of On the Block with Jen. As you guys know, every single Friday, it's Freaky Friday. We lighten it up a bit, put our hair up, take it down, unclip those bras, get our drink, get our smoke, whatever it is you guys do to relax on Friday. We are glad to see you. It gets raw on Fridays. Okay, if you got little virgin ears or little virgin ears in the room, this is probably not the stream for you. Okay, especially tonight. Tonight's topic is to swallow or not to swallow. So in general, we'll be talking about our love, hate, and awkwardness with oral sex. Yep, and I have a visual for you. I sure do. I got a visual for you. I would like us all to dissect. Hold me down in the chat. I'm going to bring my panel up. Okay, as you guys know, I am on the block with Jen on all social media platforms. Support the show tonight with a Cash App if you want to support me privately. I always say not everyone wants people to know where their money is going. You could privately Cash App me. I got some Cash Apps earlier today. Thank you. I won't shout your name because that's where people donate to the show privately. So thank you. I got it. I sent you that heart back so you know it was received. If you want to support me in the super chat or you just want to throw a comment in there you want us to see immediately, attach it to a super chat. That is how you get our attention the fastest. My eyesight clears up, it goes to 2020. My hearing clears up when you attach your comment to a super chat. So hold me down in the chat. Let's talk about this. I can't wait for you guys to see my visual. This is going to be good. So welcome again to Freaky Fridays. Let me bring up mi gente. They're always lovely and talented. Lily from YB Limited. Yes, I love it. We are date ready on Fridays, are we not?
Listen, I am ready, but not for no damn coffee. Don't try me.
Hello, amen. Second that.
And on my birthday weekend. Hello.
Ooh, I know. I forgot. I saw your post in passing, and I was like, oh, I forgot. When exactly is the birth date? Sunday. And where are you celebrating, Miss Ma'am? Okay. We'll text. We will text. I want to welcome, guess who's back? Mr. Justin.
All right.
Hey.
Little surprise. Okay,
now
he pulled up.
I know this show is going to be extra good.
Oh, it's going to be extra good. We have George Cook, a.k.a. Papi Chulo tonight.
Hey, George.
Hey, how's it going? Happy early birthday to you. Or feliz cumpleaños.
Feliz cumpleaños. You practicing that Spanish, huh, Georgie Pudge?
I've been doing Duolingo now for about 2 years. And I had Spanish in high school way back in the day and promptly forgot it all.
Of course. You have to practice. It's not like riding a bike. Thank you for the early super chat. Spanky big head. Let's get it popping. Damn right. You gonna like this visual. We're gonna go over it. I researched a little bit. We're gonna talk about our personal experiences per usual on Freaky Friday. So we share a lot. On Freaky Fridays. It's probably why my inboxes go crazy.
Hello.
So last Sam, Lily, a sex worker. We're all sex workers, darling.
I was just about to say
every last one of us.
I'm like, hello, duh. Where was the tea?
Right. We all work our sex when we're working. We're all sex workers here. We're all mad here, Alice. So tonight's topic, let's throw it up there. I'll be taking it down periodically so people can read your names as well. Our love, hate, awkwardness with oral. Guys and gals, not gender specific. We're going to talk about it all the way around. Hello, Haran DeMarco.
All the way around,
Even Haran.
All the way around. Are we date ready tonight? Haran is giving us coffee date.
Yeah, I'm giving coffee date today. I didn't want to be late. I was on the phone and
anyway,
I was like,
but late anyway. He's like, I don't want to be late, but
I didn't want to be too late. I was on the phone. I was like, oh shit.
All right, guys. I'm glad to see everybody. Hold on. Somebody text me. Hi, Lily. I got your text. All right, guys. So oral freaking sex, man. To swallow or not to swallow, our love, hate, and awkwardness with it. I said before, it's very, very peculiar, mind-boggling to me that we let people in our mouths, in our bodies, in our asses, you know what I mean? Every orifice we have.
Yes.
But it pains us to talk about sex with those same exact people. With those same exact people. You will take a man up to the gut, up to the anal cavity, down your throat, but you're afraid to have conversations that would bring you more pleasure or vice versa. So that's what we do on Freaky Friday, and that's why people show up, because we talk about it here, right? Including our personal experiences. So before I begin, do you guys have any general statement, idea, or whatever that we can prefix this stream with regarding oral sex? And then I will play Exhibit A.
Play Exhibit A. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, go
And
for
you
it.
want, okay. So let's go straight to the video. I found this very interesting. This was an episode of a show that I used to watch a little while back called Insecure. It's on HBO. It's Issa Rae's series.
Oh, that scene.
Okay, here we go. This scene. Everybody listening, put on your listening eyes and your hearing ears and your seeing ears. Put on your seeing ears and your listening eyes.
Okay.
All right, let's play it. This scene stuck with me. I was like, wow, here we go.
I've heard nothing but good things about this show.
Oh, it's amazing. I haven't watched it in a while, I must confess. But when I used to watch it, it was good. Then afterwards, you know how you go back to a show?
Insecurities?
Insecure. It's a dramedy. And it's it used to be Awkward Black Girl on YouTube, and then she just kept working it on YouTube, and then she got to deal with HBO, and then they changed the name from Awkward Black Girl to Insecure. So it's a dramedy. Very interesting about her sex life, dating life, boyfriend, girlfriend shit. Here we go.
Right.
This scene stuck with me. I was like, oh, for many reasons. We'll dissect.
You learned that. Oh, shit, you wasn't even. Oh, shit. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, shit, you my time. Are you fucking serious right now? What? Did you really just do that in my fucking face? Was you into it? I mean, I wasn't trying. Good job. But why the what? Are you what? Are you serious? Calm down. What's the problem? I mean, I thought we were having fun. Like, you seem like you was down for whatever. Really? I didn't ask for this.
Okay, so let me play it one more again without the banner. It's a couple seconds long. Let's watch it one more again. I saw some people enter the room.
Play it one more again without the banner.
There's an echo. Okay, here we go.
You learned that. Oh, shit, you wasn't even. Oh, shit. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, shit, you my time. Are you fucking serious right now? What? Did you really just do that in my fucking face? Was you into it? I mean, I wasn't trying. Good job. But why the what? Are you what? Are you serious? Calm down. What's the problem? I mean, I thought we were having fun. Like, you seem like you was down for whatever. Really? I didn't ask for this.
Okay, so I will say quickly before I pass the mic. I found it interesting that she had this man in her mouth, which is pretty darn intimate. Okay, pretty darn intimate. You take a man into your mouth. However, her deal breaker was semen. That was the deal breaker on her face, not in her mouth, on her face. So semen on the face, violation, cock in the throat, not so much. Let's talk about this. What happened?
The way I see it is a little different. I mean, I saw
Let's hear
that
it
too, but I'm going to tell you what I saw. I saw something that happened to me before. It wasn't so much as the face, it was the eye.
Oh yeah, you don't want to get semen in the
shit
eye.
burns like hell.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was about the face in there, but it just took me back to my unhealed trauma of cum in the eye.
Okay. Well,
And me and my
come.
therapist haven't talked about that yet, so I'm still working.
Okay. All right. Well, come in the eye is quite terrible.
Yes.
However, this particular scene was just about come on the face. So let's talk about come on the face. Why she was completely insulted, disgusted, cock in the mouth. Okay, semen on the face, not so much. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't understand that because that's free moisturizer.
I remember the episode. She's upset with that because the episode revolved around the idea of essentially black girls don't give head because they don't want to be perceived as hoes and so on and so forth. So I assume the idea was that him busting in her face or whatever, you know what I mean, that's some hoe shit. You know what I mean? She's being treated like a hoe. And
is that what it was?
I don't perceive it as such. Yeah, you know what I mean? That was the concept of the episode, that black girls don't do that shit because, you know, basically dudes, you know, get on some, you know what I mean, she's a hoe shit. So they're iffy about it. So that's what that was.
Okay,
really
so
about.
don't okay,
That's exactly
so
what it was.
Okay, so don't give head because they don't want to be seen as hoes, or don't get come on the face because they don't want to be seen as hoes. Which one?
Come on the face.
What come on the face, or even just the concept of going down on men. The show was about that. The topic essentially was revolving like black women, you know, even going down on men and being iffy about it because there's the potential to be perceived as hoes, and yes, getting nutted in your face and so on and so forth, porn shit. You know, it was literally about the over sexualization of black women. That was the underlining tone of the episode.
Okay, so pause right there. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon says, damn, it's just sperm. She acted like it was battery acid. With that said, fuck, we're not even 15 minutes in and we're talking race. There's some black people on the panel. There's some black people in the chat. Okay? Confirm or deny this. Do black women have reservations about giving head? Confirm or deny, or yay or nay, or I don't know. If there are any men on the panel in general who've been with black women, what say you? Is it a race thing? Or black women are like, I don't like really giving head because I don't want to be seen as a quote unquote hoe or whore? Hold me down,
it's down the middle for me. It's down the middle for me because I've had some that was like, you know what I mean, they get it in. You know what I mean? And I've had others who are just like, they try to, you know, you can feel it where they're just trying to get it over with, you know, because it's the reservation of, you know, I don't want to be seen as a hoe and blah, blah, blah. Like a lot of black women are deathly afraid of being perceived as whores.
Well, I'll say this. I've been with a number of different races of women, and there's down the middle for all of them.
Okay.
All of them. Some women don't give a shit. They're like, this is fun. I like it. Actually, I fucking love it. And then there's some that are like, nope, not for me. I don't care. It's not my cup of tea.
It's like Jamaican men. There are a number of Jamaican men who will never eat pussy because they feel it's a submissive position to be in.
Yeah, well, that's a cultural thing that, you know, is propagated a lot in Jamaican culture. Yeah, I think it's a
Jamaican men have no issue with it. Some Jamaican men have no issue with it, such as myself. But you know, in the culture, it's very iffy thing. It's a very iffy thing.
Okay, Georgie.
Oh, there we go. Well, since I've only been with white women, I did date a black woman, but it didn't get that far, right? But the most freakish thing, I know you didn't ask that question, but closest thing to that was ATM, you know, so and so
help us out. Help out the virgins. What's ATM, George?
Ass to mouth.
Ass to mouth. Okay.
Yep. And I was like, when she did that, I was like, whoa, okay. Yeah. That kind of set me back a little bit. Yeah, I was like, okay, that's what you want,
Set
So,
you back like you didn't like it, but went with it, or set you back like, ooh, this is hot.
yeah, it really surprised me.
Okay.
And I was like, I just like, wow, she was freakier than I thought, and all that kind of thing. So it's, I was like, I was trying to put myself in her position. Would I do that? And I was like, oh, hell no, I wouldn't do that, And so, but anyway, we had this discussion about the whole thing we've talked about before, freedom to be who you are in the bedroom, so it's kind of like I went with it, and I didn't shame her or anything like that, and
Okay.
had a good
But it wouldn't have been in your best interest to shame her.
You
Oh,
didn't
no.
call her a dirty slut?
Yeah.
No,
But
you should have.
Hey, she may have liked that.
yeah.
She may have liked that. Big Elvis the Chef Rosenberg said that scene is fake. Any woman will let you know from the beginning. Whatever you do, don't on my face, don't in my hair, don't in my mouth. That's crazy. I've never said those words. So you cannot say any woman.
Yeah, Big Elvis, I've never heard that in my life.
I've never said that. Mr. Justin has never heard it. Anyone else got the listen, don't come in my mouth, don't come in my hair, let me know when you're about to come. I mean, I've seen that before. Like, let me know when you're about to come.
You know what that is? That is lowered desire.
Oh.
Okay. Well, because check this out. What is it about a man ejaculating on your face, right? It's almost like spitting on someone or slapping somebody. There's an element of disregard. There's an element of degradation that's in that, right? Wow. Because it's not like I'm giving it to you to consume. I'm wasting it on your face, right? Mm-hmm. That does nothing for you, right? So there's an element of degradation involved with that. Now, the problem with the scene, I mean, I'm not familiar with the show, but if this was in real life, I can tell you off the bat that he didn't get her into a state over a certain period of time such that she desired him so much that she didn't give a fuck what he did.
Oh,
very true. I was just
and so what happened is they became sexually integrated before, too soon. They got prematurely integrated, to quote my friend Coach Brody. They prematurely integrated and without having any sort of tension, dynamic, polarity, and where he's able to start dominating her mind before there's any sort of physical action going on, right? But you get her there, you go deep, and then when there is time to have sex, it's like you can pretty much do whatever within a certain general reason.
Okay. Thank you for the super chat, Big Elvis. Mr. Justin, don't pull out now. Give it to us. Let us know how you prepare a woman to the point where when the clothes does come off, she's like, it is game time. Because that scene was awkward. Her character is awkward. It kind of looked like, okay, I'll do this head thing. I'm not really into it, but I'll do it. How can you get a woman well oiled so by the time those clothes come off, it is game time?
Yeah, it's about not wanting to fuck her, but getting her to want to fuck you more, right? Because it's a lot sexier. I was talking with my girl about this. It's a lot sexier to have a sexually needy woman than a sexually needy man. It's way sexier.
And this is exciting. Right? This is so fun. You can't listen. Wait, let's repeat that. It is more important. Yeah. It's more important.
Well, no, I said it's. I'm not didn't say it's more important. I said it's.
Sexier. Oh, to me.
I said it's.
But what's funny, Justin, I told a male friend of mine that this morning. That's so funny. Mm-hmm. I literally because he was doing the opposite and was wondering why he wasn't getting the response that he wanted from his wife. So I said, turn it around and do X, Y, and Z. Didn't say the exact words that you said, but that's pretty much what I said. He actually listened, and then he called me this morning to say, like, oh yeah, it actually worked. So we talked about that this morning.
That is, let's just acknowledge that. That's freaking mind-blowing because men usually want to fuck a woman. They chase her, they buy her flowers, they take her on date. They're trying to seal that deal, right? But if you can flip it and make that woman want to fuck you, that is amazing. Because I deal with that all the time. Like guys that I meet are trying to date me, they're trying to fuck. Okay, no one's looking, look at Jen, I'd really like to marry her. Everybody wants to fuck, right? Everybody wants to fuck, great. But what's lacking in a lot of men that approach me is that they don't make themselves appealing to me to get me wet, right? They're all hard from the beginning. I answer a DM, I answer a text, I answer a phone call. They're like, yes, I'm closer. I'm like, I'll reply to this text. Good morning to you too. Thank you. Okay. But if they can just flip it and make you want to fuck them, that is a jewel and a gem. Are y'all listening?
I'm listening, Jen. Question for you. What's one of the ways that a man can make you want him?
They're not gonna like this answer.
She's not gonna tell you the truth.
Thirsty.
Right. They're not
so damn thirsty.
They're not gonna like the answer because it's gonna be vague and men like black or white, up or down. Right. Yeah. But I will say this is something that Justin touched on too. It's gonna sound simple. Confident out the ass. Confidence out the ass. Right? A little mystery is nice. Confidence is nice. You have to understand that all the guys are saying the same shit at nauseum. Good morning, beautiful. Hey, big head, what are you doing? And then there's the other side of the spectrum where it's like, I ain't gonna sweat you because I know everybody sweats you. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work either.
But that's still the side, right? So, like, just to cut in, I'm sorry. It's like women have these barriers around. There's 3 walls, right, from behind and the sides. Okay. And guys that are just like, good morning, whatever, they want to fuck, but they're too indirect. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And so they're trying to come in sideways. The guys who are like, I'm not paying any attention to you, blah, blah, blah. Like, like sour grapes from Aesop's Fables. And so, but that they still want to fuck too, right?
Yes.
So they're coming from the side. And then the guys from the back, they're the creeps, who are like stalking you and all that weird shit, but they never say anything.
Yes.
It's the motherfuckers who just walk straight in through the front door. Those are the ones, and you're like, "Whoa, what are you doing here?" And then they're not trying to fuck you, and you're like, "Wait a second, why aren't you trying to fuck me? Everyone wants to fuck me,
right?
You're not doing anything. Come on, wake up! Get your dick hard. Your dick's not even hard. Why aren't you into me? Please come, get into me, please." And then it starts rolling, and then he can start flipping your head around, and and all he did was just walk through the front door.
Right. The art of seduction, darling. Yeah, because I hate those. I hate both of those sides of the spectrum. Either you're too like, oh, you're not confident, or you're kind of like, hey, good morning, beautiful, or you're too much on the left, where it's like, I ain't chasing you because I know everybody chase. I'm like, I don't give a fuck like that. I don't care. Then it makes me respond in a way where I don't give a like. You can't treat me like that. I'm already like that. Like, yeah, fuck off. Right. So that doesn't work.
You slid in my DM, sir. Let's not forget that.
Interesting, George. Haran.
The question, Justin, and you, Jen, and Lily, is it the same thing? The saying is about he who cares least wins. In other words, if the dude wants the woman to build the desire for her, he doesn't, if he's interested, he doesn't really show it. Or if he just it's like, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. What did that dude say? I don't care if she comes, lays, or prays. Whatever happens, my toes are still tapping. So, but anyway, is there, what I'm saying? I think y'all get it, but what do you think?
Okay. Ooh, and like Jen said, it's so subtle. It's such a subtle difference between nonchalant, like that confident nonchalant,
right,
versus you just listen to Justin say it, so you're trying to practice it for the first time, and it's just coming off like, oh, like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, or that,
like, are you okay?
Ain't, who do you think you are? You think you're all that in a bag of chips? That kind of attitude.
Yeah, that kind of nonchalant versus like, because there's a couple of them in my DM that didn't pull the Justin move, and I'm like, damn, but most of 98.9% is, the other ones that's coming through those other doors. But like he hit it right on the nail.
Window.
Oh, that too.
Well, I'm going to just fall on my sword here. I can see, listening to y'all now, I'm thinking back to time interactions in the past. I was that dude like to Jen, oh, Jen, hey, beautiful, all this, that, the other, and I couldn't understand why. I'm like being nice and I'm telling her she looks great. And
I was about to say that is where the nice guys get caught up right there. But I'm being nice. I said, good morning, beautiful. Like,
logically, it doesn't make sense, right? Like you're not being offensive. You're not being a jerk. You're not being an asshole. And then they look, you look at the so-called assholes who get the attention from women, but it's only like a portion, right? It's only like a part of the recipe because it creates this like emotional roller coaster, right? Like what the audacity of what this guy said, right? But even that's not the real deal, right? That that's attractive because that kind of guy comes with confidence because he doesn't give a shit what he says, right? But what he says is a lot of times offensive, okay? And that causes a lot of draw because that creates polarity, but a guy who truly just does not give a shit about your pussy at all, that's a whole other ball of wax. Like you just don't care, right? But because you have to realize like what's really the good pussy is the one between your ears. That's
where the good pussy is, guys. Oh, the one between the ears.
Oh, you can make a woman walk through hot coals by rubbing the clit between your ears. Hot coals.
I say it all the time. That's what gets me.
She'll do a frog leap over her grandmother's grave to come see you.
Listen, it happened to me. I met a guy one time. We were on MySpace for a little bit. Then we started emailing a little bit. Then we got to that first phone call. That first phone call, about 15, 16 hours later straight, he asked me to marry him. I said, yes. True story. No cap. True story. No cap. Our first phone call ever. He kept me on the phone like 15, 16 hours. And I didn't know at the time that was part of the con. But he's stellar. Absolutely stellar. And I meant it when I said yes. It wasn't even a joke. He was like, I just want to do it. I want to marry. He was telling me all kinds of shit.
That's not what I'm talking about.
No. I know that's not what you're talking about.
I'm not talking about that.
No. I know that's not what you're talking about. I'm just saying that some people can fuck with your head to that point.
But did you actually get married?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, that's an example also what you just taught too of what to look out for.
Yeah.
Like the con,
that's a different subject entirely. I want to talk about like guys who really have confidence and don't have to con. It's just how they are. Now, Mr. Justin, going back to what you said, is it a true blue, like, I don't care about your pussy. I mean, it'd be cool if I get it, but I'm not going to die. Doesn't that come from a place where men are not constantly in predator mode and desperado mode for pussy? Doesn't that come internally?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Like the first night that my girl and I like got together, I went over to her place. We were chilling out. We were just kind of talking a little bit, flirting a little bit. And I laid it out. I said, listen, I'm not here for sex, but you're getting fucked. Because it was to make a point, not to, and it was there to make a point, not to get off. Right. The point wasn't to get off. It was to make a different point. If that makes any sense.
Kevin Samuels Ghost says women want someone better than them, taller, stronger, smarter, richer. If they feel like you're not at least on their level, they will lose interest and find a better option. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Brooklyn Bat all day says women want sex just as much as men, but they play games. Just let a brother know you're into them.
No, they don't understand.
No.
Women have to be warmed up. Yes, we want sex just as much or maybe more.
Way
but
more.
Women have to be warmed up. Like, just like it doesn't work that way. It is a woman up process.
Check out this book. It's called My Secret Garden by Nancy Friday, I think. It was a New York Times bestseller for a long time. And what she did is she took letters, like anonymous letters, and did interviews with women. And there's tons of women. And all they did was just let loose all their craziest fantasies. And she compiled them into this book. Women have the craziest fucking sexual minds. And that's why they don't tell you shit. Because if they did, you would, like, most guys would lose their fucking minds. They'd be like, they would get incredibly insecure. Their balls would pull back up into their stomach and they'd run away. Because they're like, I can't compete with that. They expect all this crazy shit and I don't know what I'm doing or whatever. And and it's for that that a woman will freak out when you come on her face, right? Because it's coming from a place of being judged and her own judgments and thinking of judgments of other people, right? Constantly that happened before that moment, right? And so it's coming into a place of judgment. Like I think what Harem was talking about with like not wanting to be portrayed or perceived as a hoe, right? And so there's all these perceptions around it. So it's like, but if you can get in there and have a vibe of non-judgment and coax all this like raunchy demon energy out of them, because it's all in there. Like you're all hoes and sluts, all of you. I don't care.
What's the name of that book again?
In a derogatory way. I mean, like it's just the way it is. Like it's not slight on any woman.
What's the name of that book again? So these guys could get in, realize how dirty a woman's mind is. Because for some reason, men have this fantasy that women don't want sex as much as they do, or like freaky things. Like as you were speaking, I was thinking about some of the fantasies I have, and I was like, whoa, if those ever got out. Right? Dudes would run. They would run from my home. They would run.
What you should do is just write them down. Like get a journal, get a fantasy journal, and just write them all down.
Oh, I like that idea. There is one that I wanted to turn into a short film. Yeah, but I knew it would be
you don't have to do that, but
people.
I'm just saying, like, just collect them, and it'll prove beneficial later on. But yeah, the book is called My Secret Garden, not to be confused with The Secret Garden. That's a totally different book. That's like a children's story.
My Secret Garden.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No. But yeah, it's like it's that. I think it's that shit that prevents, brings all this weird stuff about being ejaculated on and degradation and things like that. Because once you get in there and allow the fantasies and the judgment to slip away, there's a lot of women basically like have very little limits, except I think when it comes to things that are getting like more on the violent end of things. But that's a whole other conversation. I'm talking like just general like regular sex stuff. They think about that shit when they're riding the bus, when they're on the subway, driving in the car. Like it's in there. You see a woman sitting there on the bus and she's not doing anything, she's thinking about sex.
Oh, I'll qualify that. New York City train station. Dig this. I used to work corporate 9 to 5. Every time I was on the subway and I saw a man like with a nice hand holding onto the pole in the subway, I was thinking of him holding his dick. Every time.
Right. Every time. And you're like looking at the veins in his hands and you're like, those are some big hands. I wonder how they feel around my neck.
Right.
Yes.
I'll be taking.
It's true. Every time I see a man with a nice hand and it's veiny and he's holding on to the pole in the train station, I'm thinking about him holding his pole.
God, the things I've done in my head to some of them people on the train.
It's true.
I'm telling you.
Oh God.
It's true. VIP, baby, VIP.
Yeah, you're
okay,
dirty.
so
you're all dirty.
yeah. So can you, Mr. Justin, do you have can you remember any of the stories at all that were in that book?
Oh man, there was this one where this woman was talking about the fantasy was like in an old Victorian home. and she was brought into the home and stripped naked. And I think there was a white woman, and she was stripped naked, and there were two doms. One was a black man and one was a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And they completely dominated her in all sorts of ways. And then there was like a young man, like I think it was like maybe teenage,
Mm-hmm.
who was tied to the bed or something like that, and like spread eagled or whatever, and they forced her to fuck him, and it was like a 16-year-old boy or something like that. And so there were like the two of them were making her do like all kinds of stuff, right? And it was a wild fantasy. It was kind of dark, but you know, that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean?
That's just, I mean, if it's what people are thinking, it's what people are thinking.
Mm-hmm. But you know, but it's the judgment though. That's what ruins it, you know. Because like outside, you know, there's like, oh well, women, you know, I have to behave like this. You got to talk like this. You got to look like this. And if it's too much, and if it goes off into this other realm, it's like, oh, you're a hoe. You're for the streets. And then your perception gets totally shifted. And you know, some people deal with it and like, yeah, fuck it, I don't give a shit. And then others are like, no, I don't ever want to be perceived that way because of whatever, you know. And it just becomes a big problem. Looks like we lost Heron.
Yeah, I think he calmed down, so I think he went to get something.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I did regarding the oral. I do have a little info that we can explore. These are stories of some people that were talking about oral sex with their women and what they said. Okay, whether women like it or not, swallow or whatever. This guy, Leroy De Silva, says, my first wife swallowed twice in 21 years. Second wife didn't swallow at all, but did give me head a few times in the 6 years we were together. She would pull her face away at the point of ejaculation. My current partner swallows every time and is an enthusiastic giver of head. So this lady completely was like, incoming.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a question regarding that. Like, I know guys say there's no such thing as bad head or bad sex. Sex is sex, right? As long as they're in something. Is that really true? Is there a time like where you're like you're about to bust and then a woman pulls away? Would that turn you off or startle you? Or you just like, I don't give a damn where this is going?
Yeah, it's like there is bad head. I've had terrible head, but I'm a firm believer, both for men and women, you need to communicate because everybody is a little bit different, right? And so I straight up instruct, like, no, stop, do this and do this and do it like this, right? And you got to teach them, right? And like, because how could they possibly know? How could they possibly know what you like and how you like it?
Well, Justin, a lot of the women that I've talked to who don't like giving head give bad head because they don't like giving head, to the point where the men just say, you know what, and like every one of them said, the men just like don't even worry about it. Just,
well, sure, enthusiasm is a huge changer, right? If you're enthusiastic about giving head, whether it's you know, towards a man or a woman, I mean, we're talking about just dicks right now, but that changes everything. Having enthusiasm is fantastic. But it's, I don't know, like I'm thinking about, you know, I'm thinking about my girl, and you know, she's different, right? She's not enthusiastic about giving head, right? But these things are slowly changing, right? Because you can do a lot with positive reinforcement, right? So if someone's insecure, I'm not talking about her, but like just in general, like to your comment about like not being good at it and being a little wary of giving head, the guy can give positive reinforcement, right? So you get more, what is that phrase? You get more flies with honey than you do with shit. So it's like that. So you have to be encouraging, even if it's not perfect. And you're like, oh, this is great, but you know what? If you did this as well or differently, or you know, use your tongue this way, right, it would be even better. right? And then you give praise and things like that. You know, tell her she's a good girl and brush her hair, things along those lines. But you know, but for my girl, like she likes being forced, right? But that's part of her kink. Like she's not eager to give head, or if she is, she doesn't really display that because she likes the whole notion of being forced, right? And with the cum swallowing, she's into being forced as part of, like, she just loves that kink. She loves being forced to swallow, right? Or be told what to do in that sense.
Understandable.
Right. But that's
yeah.
change. It's very hot. It's a very sexy sort of dynamic. But it's funny because I enjoy also the pet eagerly waiting for its treat type dynamic. Do you know what I'm saying? Where like the mouth is open, like just so like waiting and happy, like just like, please just give it to me. Give me my snack. Right.
I think I watched porn like that before.
and there's, well, it's a pretty common theme in porn, actually, where she's just happily waiting with her mouth open, right? And that's great, right? So I've noticed, like, over the months, like a slow shift towards that direction, right? And it comes with positive reinforcement, right? Now I'm not doing away with her kink, right? So she still gets what she wants, but I'm slowly teaching her that it's like okay to be in this way. You don't have to be embarrassed. It's okay to be happy that you're making me happy and in this fashion.
Okay. Ray Perkins, you said you have one fantasy over and over. It's good. Can you elaborate in the chat? And also, Brooklyn Bat All Day, you said that's why that warm-up comment don't add up. What warm-up comment and what made it not add up? You have to elaborate, guys.
No, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a thread. So what he said was, what is a warm-up, right? I said, and I was kind of confused. I'm like, is this a real question? Because Justin just gave perfect examples. And then his response to that was, well, that's why the warm-up comment didn't add up. And I just left it at that, because if you still don't understand, this explains why a lot of people are just sexless in the city. I'm just saying.
I just read a pretty dismal report from the Pew Research Center that said 63% of guys between the ages of 18 and 29 are single. 63%.
That sounds about right. But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of that is the fact that most of these people in general in that age group is completely socially awkward.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like that plays a huge part in it, and really porn has taken the place of real people for them.
Oh, I saw an ad on Instagram for an AI girlfriend. You know, because AI is like popping up all over the place in so many different regions. And yeah, you can have an AI girlfriend now.
We knew that was a matter of time now.
Do you think, Lily, to piggyback off what you said, porn taking over for, like, do you think that's also like being able to, let's say, talk to me or to you on a DM, this guy that's completely socially awkward, hasn't washed his ass that day, hasn't had a haircut, but he can get you to get into a conversation with him, same as me, like, hey Jen, what's up, blah blah, and then that's kind of fulfilling for them. Do you think that also plays a part in why they're out there? And then it's like, why do I have to go and look for a woman when I can talk to these women all day on social media and get that interaction and get that female energy?
Yes, because that is the new sidewalk.
Let's not forget about OnlyFans also.
Right.
Yes, that as well.
Because then they're getting the back and forth. You know, she's like, oh, thank you, Charles, for the donation. Oh, you want me to, play with my nipples? Okay. Right. So there's like this weird back and forth, almost a relationship of sorts.
Yes.
Oh, that's why a lot of guys have asked me, when are you getting your OnlyFans? Get an OnlyFans. When you get an OnlyFans, you get it. Because I guess they want to take that virtual relationship to the next step. And if I get an OnlyFans and they get to see me naked, now they're in a full-blown relationship with me.
Yes. Yes.
They can develop not a full-blown relationship, but it's a relationship of sorts, right? Because when you're DMing somebody back and forth, it's very limited to just that type of conversation. If a guy's watching porn, it's a one-way street, right? She on the other side, it's a recording. She's not interacting with him. But you go to OnlyFans, it's live. she can interact with you. She can call out your name. She can say things to you, say thank you, and like, oh, this is thank you, that's so sweet, and all these things. Like, oh, you want me to play with my pussy like this? Okay, and then he sends her a bigger donation. So there's like a synergy that happens there, and it is a relationship of sorts for I imagine for a lot of guys.
Yes, and so we're thinking from the mind state. We gotta put our mind in their age bracket because they think completely different. And human to human contact for a lot of them is extremely scary, and it's just something that they would rather not do for a lot of them. So for that particular age group, what Justin just said, I would think is enough for a lot of them.
Yeah, they'd probably be petrified. Well, I do know that they're petrified of women. Which is why I got out of teaching dating, because it was like pulling teeth. They're like, I'm so scared. I can't even talk to them. I can't even say hi. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm tired of hearing the same fucking excuses again and again and again. I'm just going to deal with people who are in relationships already.
Wait, but where does that come from? Where does that fear and hesitation and reservation come from? Social media? Just being on social media?
They literally do everything on this. Every little thing that they do is it's scary to watch that age group because, okay, perfect example. Me and Bestie went to hang out with my family. My family, I have a big family. We're close, right? So we was, my brother was getting married. That's why the whole family was there. So we were in different hotel suites and stuff, okay? So we go in the hotel suite, me and Orlando. The adults are in one room. The kids are in one room. The adults are like, you know how that go, right? The typical, right? So Orlando had to use the bathroom. He goes through the kids' room, and it's like maybe about 8 kids in there, bone quiet. That's what everyone's doing.
Wow.
And Orlando was like, that is freaky. Like they're all sitting in a dark room. Not one person is talking, and every single person is on their phone. And that's literally how they live their life. Like, even with these TikTokers and things like that, you see them, they get on TikTok, they can pull it together, but you put them in front of a human. I've seen it a million times. It's mute.
So I want to, this question right here, people on the panel, people in the chat, really answer this, because I've wondered about this, and I wanted to ask a lot of people, because I know everybody's different, but I want to know if we can get like a consensus on this right here. May sound funny, but always curious about it.
I'm curious about the curious word.
Okay, this right here. Sex should be any way you like it. I love oral when she is looking at me. Now, I've watched porn where the woman was looking at the guy and her eyes, bulging, and she's looking at him. And then others where her eyes are closed. Gentlemen, which do you prefer? Do you prefer her servicing you, looking at you, or do you prefer her eyes closed when she's doing it? Because some guys are like, don't look at me, it freaks me out. And then other guys are like, yeah, look at me when you're doing it. Which one? What is it?
I love to be looked at.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I love to be looked at when she has tears in her eyes. It's a beautiful thing. Mascara running.
Oh.
The burning kids burning and sliding down the
No, he's talking about like from the tears.
Yeah, the tears.
Yeah,
I thought he said kids. I thought he said kids.
No,
the
tears.
No, not the. Man, you must have been.
The kids don't belong in eyes.
You must have really been. You must have really been
traumatized. Lily is traumatized. We gotta get through this.
Hearing words that weren't said.
Somebody said nothing about no kids, man.
I told you I work with you. I'm still working on that.
Okay.
Right. She started flinching.
Okay, Mr. Justin. Mr. Justin, what Mr. Justin would say, you chat, hold me down. Do you want to be looked at or nah? Is it awkward?
Yeah, well, it's certainly not awkward, but it's not something that I prefer. So yeah, like maybe sometimes I'll like it, but I'm more with George. Like it doesn't really matter to me. Some people really like it, and that's cool, but I don't need it.
Okay, I think same with me when I'm getting oral. Like I don't know. Like, don't fucking stare at me. You should be doing your thing. do your thing. But there was a guy one time, and every time he did it, and I would look down at him, he would know I was looking down, and then he would wink at me, and I was like, like every time he did it, he would be like down there, he would like, and I was like, yeah. So it was a silly thing, but it was like it did it for me because he did it like with confidence, like shit, you know that I know that what I'm putting you through. And I was like, yeah, that. So try that, guys. It's very, very cute. Wink at her when she looks at you, but don't stare.
I'm more into
Like
the
a serial
sound.
killer.
Yeah. Oh no,
Ooh,
no. I think actually no. Like a serial killer, I actually think that's very powerful, right? Because it goes along with the dismissive degradation sort of thing, where you're like, no, this isn't even affecting me. Yeah, my dick is hard, but I'm not getting into it. I'm not showing you any sign that I'm even enjoying this, but you're gonna work. And
you mean you looking at her?
Yes, and I'm gonna sit here and watch you, you know? And then that is like, no, look at me. Look at me. And that it changes the whole thing because it's not about a pleasure thing. It's about I'm putting you into a state and you're gonna do what you're told. Right. And so that's a whole other thing because it's not about the pleasure at that type of head, right? It's about being put into a state of control. But I'm more into the sounds. I love this, auditory textures.
Great segue to the sounds. Okay, gentlemen.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Because I just wanted to speak to a point that was made earlier. I think Mr. Justin was saying something. I just wanted to speak to a number of things. Maybe one of the reasons why a lot of these guys, they feel just so awkward around these women is that, yes, they're conditioned to communicate with people through gadgets and so on and so forth. So they haven't honed their ability to communicate in the analog world. But also a lot of these guys, they don't have a lot of them don't have interests or pursue interests and passions outside of something that's very shallow. When you're a man who has particular passions and interests and you move with a degree of confidence, the energy really moves off your skin. Like women can really sense that kind of energy off of your skin. Like for instance, some of the things that used to happen to me during my gigging days, particularly when I was in college, I'd be downstairs, in the basement, practicing, my piano and so on. And then, a girl who happened to be in one of my classes, she'd knock on the door and she'd say, hey, can I sit down and watch you practice? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. And then 10 minutes into it, she's sucking my dick.
Oh.
So, and she's the one grabbing for it. But
the piano teacher.
There you go. You know what I mean?
She wanted to tickle your ivories.
There you go. And
tickle
then
your ivories.
And there was another girl also who did the same thing. And then again, minutes later, I'm turning the lights off, pulling down her pants, and she's holding on to a grand piano, and I'm giving it to her. Now, things like that, women are attracted to the passion that I most likely exuded because Lord knows I didn't have a dime. I ain't have a dime. I ain't had nothing but a dusty fucking guitar on my back most of the time. So the point I'm making here is this. If you're more in tune with who you are as a man, again, that leads to the likelihood of you being a confident person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it also helps too when going back to being a musician or whatever. If you're passionate about something, I don't care what it is. Like if you're passionate about something, that's a turn on to see someone be passionate about something and talk about it and explain it. And it's like,
oh yeah,
very true.
Let me ask you guys something about. Let's go back to the 18 to 29-year-olds topic again, just slightly. To get them, the gold standard would be for them to develop self-confidence and the things like Ron just talked about. But are they helping themselves if they do they go get an escort, they go to the those sugar daddy websites or whatever? I mean, at 29 years old, probably not. But is there
Well, there's some.
Like if they can't get it, they can buy it, you know, kind of thing. Or, you know, what do you think?
You mean practice with a hooker?
Yeah,
basically. Okay.
Yeah.
I would. That's a great suggestion. I think because I don't know what to suggest to them a lot of times because this just. I'm just trying to need more suggestions. So George, thank you for. I mean,
I think that's great.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
You're right.
I think that's a great idea.
Be funny because they really. It's scary. It's really scary. And what I'm always thinking about is there's people turning 18 every day. And it's not getting any better. They're getting more and more and more inundated on these things, these devices that they're not used to human-to-human contact. So that might be part of a package that they can offer at the ranch.
It'd be nice if prostitution wasn't illegal in most states.
Right.
That's but there is actually I mean, maybe not in that age group because they don't have money or anything like that. But there was a client of mine who suffered from a number of different problems, and like he had premature ejaculation, and he had some ED problems. He had some trauma, like PTSD from his divorce. Like he was just really messed up. So I was coaching him. Another friend of mine who was a former porn star was coaching him, and not at the same time. So first he worked with me to kind of like get his base foundation, and then he started working with the porn star to kind of like help him get his like sex game back. But then he started doing a more therapeutic thing, and he started working with a surrogate lover. Okay, so it's not like a hooker. Okay, this is a person who is highly trained in like sex education, sexual psychology, like highly trained in psychology and sex. And they're like fully degreed out and all this sort of thing. And it does this, like she's like the bridge for men who are trying to be comfortable with their own sexuality with other women. And she just teaches them. Yeah, it's a really cool profession.
So I saw that in a movie one time where the guy was paralyzed. And then she would come in and like have sex with him because he couldn't have sex normally. And she was what do you call him? Sex surrogate?
Yeah.
She was helping him.
But it's not like an ongoing thing, right? It's for like a developmental purpose to help guys like him grow past needing her. Right.
It's not to create a codependent situation.
Right. So the whole idea is to use, kind of like create a bond and then teach him and guide him through to a point where her services are no longer needed.
So it's like physical therapy.
Yeah, it's therapy. It's therapy on like a sexual level.
I love it.
Yeah.
That
sounds
really
interesting. I've never heard of it.
Do that.
There's sex ed stuff that you can get qualified like a sexologist, right? That's like a real degree.
Jen, you think we can do a team, a double dual team of surrogacy for the price of one?
Can I get two of you?
Sure can.
I'm trying to get more threesomes in my life. That's probably what them, like if they want to get more threesomes.
I'm trying to speed up the learning process here. So I need one
There's
sitting
a crash
on my lap
course.
and one sitting on my face.
It's the crash course. Ray Perkins says, I have a fantasy of an act that I like, and it's enough to get me going with a partner or by myself. I'd rather not be specific, but I do have others as well. I was actually in a relationship where I was constantly fantasizing while having sex with this person. And then I'm like, I had to stop because then I wasn't able to get well oiled without thinking about that fantasy. And then at that point, you just start using your partner as a masturbation device and not a real,
They weren't controlling your mind.
Yeah,
correct.
Right. So they weren't getting in your ear. They weren't controlling your mind during the sessions and just kind of letting your mind like just do whatever.
Correct. And sometimes people, they don't know how to like check for cues and be in tune with you. They're just there doing their thing. And you're kind of like, okay, so I'll do my thing. We're just doing it at the same time.
Yeah. A lot of times it's just mutual masturbation.
Interesting. Damn.
That's a good way of putting it. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. Sorry, folks.
You're
You're not actually having sex. You're just masturbating with each other.
Oh my goodness. Tavares says, the tears running down the face. I want to see the kids. Guys, in the chat, I think we got it on the panel. In the chat, would you like to ejaculate on a woman's face? Is it something you want to do or don't care?
Yeah.
I've done both.
Mm-hmm.
You've done both. George, have you? You don't want to cream
done ejaculating in the face, but I'm kind of like, she wants it, fine.
Okay, but it's not like your thing.
Yeah.
To me, it's about the moment. For me, it's like music for me. It's like improv. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you're going here, sometimes it works, sometimes you just go there. You know what I mean? It's just all about the moment and keeping things fluid.
I've noticed most guys have their specific place. Usually, from what I've seen, it's
their
like
specific place.
Yes,
like most guys come on the nose or some shit like that. Like,
I mean, that's their place. Like some people, they have like they want it. Some people want to come inside you, and like some people want to come inside your mouth. Some people want to come on your face. Some want to come on your butt,
or on your abs. I'm just saying,
abs, you know, like literally have specific place. Like it's rare that I meet somebody who has different and goes with the flow.
Shut up, Haran. Nobody asked you anything.
Yeah, just if you are like try to aim from the nose down, okay? Because
that's a great tip,
right? So if you're doing this, you don't want to get in the eyes because, like to your point before, it burns, right? It burns a lot, and it can really ruin the mood. And you don't want to get cum in a woman's hair. I mean, maybe if they don't care, but generally, it's kind of a pain in the ass to clean out. So, like even in the shower, because it just turns into like once it cools off, like once cum cools off, it's no longer warm and like fluid. It turns into this like weird, like I don't know, crumbly goop, and it just gets like broken up into smaller pieces and spreads, and it's a pain to get out of hair. And if your girl's got curly hair or thick hair, forget about it. It's a nightmare. So. I'm just thinking of that movie with what's that blonde actress? Something About Jane. Remember that
something
movie?
About you talking about?
And she got
something about Mary. Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, she like puts it in her hair, and her hair's like sticking up the side.
Chill.
Let me get some of that. And it's like sticking out.
I'll just say it. I don't like using condoms, and I don't like pulling out. So I show up with a lot of Plan Bs.
The pill?
Yep. There, I said it. So clearly, I'm one of the dudes who, I got a special place.
That's what I'm saying. Most guys have a special place. It's rare.
Well, hello, it's Freaky Friday. What's your special place?
You know what I mean? Because
the Plan B. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that because I was at Walgreens this evening buying some liquid Tylenol for my son, and he had a headache, and this guy who's in front of me, he bought 6 packs of Plan Bs. I was like, God damn! Like, what are you stocking?
What is going on?
That wasn't me. You sure that wasn't me, man?
Right.
Is that even healthy to keep swallowing?
Maybe it's just he likes to have backups. He's a prepared guy.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, all right,
go with that.
6 packs, and there's a number of pills in one box. He bought 6 of them. It's got to be at least 24 pills in there.
Wow.
You gotta have some reserves though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was stocking up.
Yeah, just in case you show up at the last minute and they ain't got any Plan B. No more Plan Bs, man.
Okay. Hey, if she wants to do that, fine. Thank you for the super chat, Necessary Evil Doll. She says, hello, Jen and panel. Sorry I'm late. I especially wanted to thank Mr. Justin for the advice he gave me today on Instagram. As far as the topic, the right one will inspire you to try anything. You oblige them.
Right.
That's right.
So true. Now, and that goes for like with the whole spit swallow or come in my mouth thing. I don't swallow unless I'm in love. Like you gotta be my man.
The platinum package. The platinum package.
There's a platinum package.
There is, guys.
Yeah. Like you got the hookup package, You got the boyfriend package.
Yep.
You got the fiance package, and you got
the I just wanted to see what it was like package.
Oh yeah.
What's all the hubbub about package?
Yeah, don't even take your shoes off, honey. Just
you have a sampler, a package, Lily, that's called Round the World package, or
little sample package. There's enough free samples being given out around here. You ain't got to get a free sample from me.
What is happening? What is happening?
Freaky Friday's getting freaky.
Yeah. Virgo Smith says, I could be a bit of a jerk during sex. I'll pluck the shit out of that pimple on a woman's ass while hitting it from the Lord.
Yeah, you're gonna stop to do that. All right.
Right.
Hey, you know, if there's a huge kink around pimples. Huge.
I see it on Instagram a lot.
Mm-hmm. They're like way into that shit. So yeah,
it's like it's satisfying.
Whatever floats your boat.
Popping pimples, that would consider me a mood killer like you.
Me too. Like what the fuck are you doing?
Hold still.
But we're not here to kink shame.
We're not on Fridays. Not on Fridays. Maybe on Tuesdays.
Exactly.
So I don't think we explored the noise. The noise is so important, right? The noise. But with that said, there are some men who don't like noise.
They're weird.
Mm-hmm. They want that nice. You know, it's funny you say that. Well, we lost Jen.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Yes.
So
the my girl talked about our past sexual experiences all the time, and she was telling me about in the past, the men that she'd been with before me, she was very quiet. Like her head was very quiet. It was very neat, right? Very clean, like almost like professional.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Oh yeah, no, nobody wants that.
And I'm like, no. And so I've been like training her over time to like loosen up, like just relax, and
the sloppier the better.
Right. And just, I'm like, I want to see, like, and I had to like train her to drool with, like, get her a gag, like get her a ball gag, so she gets used to the feeling of not being able to control her saliva. Right.
Okay.
And just be okay with it. Like, it's okay. Just let it happen. Yes. And then praising, right? Telling her it looks sexy, how beautiful, how pretty she looks, when she's got drool coming out of her mouth. But yeah, it was just interesting that her previous men, I guess they preferred that, or maybe she thought they preferred that, and that's what she ended up doing.
What did I miss about the noise? What did I miss about the noise?
Oh, we were talking about saliva.
Yes.
He was saying his girl used to be like in previous, too like really neat with her head giving, like not, and I was like, no, the sloppier, the wetter, the noisier, the better.
Is that the consensus?
Mm-hmm. I actually like hearing a bit of voice, right? Like when it's not just regular head, but there's like throat going on in there, and it causes the woman's voice to kind of go like, a bit of the gagging sounds. Like when you gag, you're like kind of like, and you hear that it's the voice, like hearing the voice, just that little bit in the rhythm, and it keeps happening over and over again. Yes, I like that a lot.
Yeah, for me is I kind of like to, as they're getting worked up, right, and they're getting there, I like to ask them, tease them a bit, like, why are you so hot and bothered? You look great, that kind of thing. This, that, and then I'll like stop and ask them, kind of like tease them, like, should I stop? And I like to hear when she's like really there, and that voice changes, and it's like that primal energy comes out, and she like grabs my head and like, whoa,
this motherfucker. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Haran, did you say?
Just listening.
Don Levon said, I just hate that porn star voice during sex. I hate that porn star. I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get oh yeah. Oh yeah. I loathe I loathe that porn star voice. Someone's gonna clip
Somebody's
that
gonna
and
clip
put me on
that.
a loop.
Yep.
They're gonna
and
put me
I'm
on a
gonna
damn
do
loop.
it.
They're gonna
I'm
remix
so
it.
done.
You make sure your head was where they could see the motherfucking logo though. So
Okay.
it's nice, good free promo. You're gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right.
I hate those noises, but you know what? I don't know. I guess it works because they keep doing it in those movies. They keep doing it.
The noises you can't control. Those are the noises that I want.
Yes, that's a word.
I'm not talking about like vocalization. I mean sounds that come from her throat and her vocal cords that she can't necessarily control, right? And it can. Like let's be real. Like women can, but I encourage to let go. I encourage her to just be free and let her voice, let things just happen as they're happening, right? Because that's more of like the giving into and falling into the whole scenario and not like basically turning off the mind and just becoming like this, like a mindless sex toy, right? A mindless fuck toy.
Grunt and pain in the voice.
I love that. I love the grunting.
I like that. So
the feeling of the body just submitting to you. You can just feel the body submitting to you. You know what I mean? And you could just feel the woman you could just feel it in her spirit. She is just being taken. You know what I mean? It's more of it's so much of that. The energy of that is really what I love.
So this says here, the women who actually enjoy fellatio will swallow most of the time. It's quicker, less messy, and a mark of acceptance.
Who said that?
Originally
a British woman.
Yeah. Good, Justin. Quick study. It says here, questions answered about women swallowing during oral sex. So I don't know who exactly said it. It just says the women who actually enjoy fellatio will swallow most of the time. It's quicker, less messy, and a mark of acceptance.
I mean,
I heard that.
Partially right. She's partially right. And like I said, yes, that's true. Like I enjoy giving it. That's my thing. But yeah, I'm not gonna just be swallowing dude I just met, or like like you've gotta work up to that platinum package. Like
how sexy is this? Yeah. There's a picture for you. There's a picture for you.
Yep, they'll freeze frame that and put the audio looping with it.
Jen's a happy meal. Jen's a happy meal. We just giving these people ideas. Oh my goodness.
Somebody do it.
Oh my goodness, she's actually blushing. She's red as shit right now.
Right.
I went tanning, sir. I went tanning. Yes. I fake bake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you. Every time I start working out, I'm like, thank you. Every time I start working out, I'm like, let me get in the fake bake.
Why would you need a fake bake?
Oh my God, do I get Michael Jackson pale, George? I really do.
You almost turn into me? Is that what you're saying?
Not pink. Not pink.
You just get pale.
I get olive, olive. And I'm like, I feel better when I'm tan. Like it's like the little summer glow.
Funny thing?
I love my
summer glow. You want to hear a funny thing? My great grandmother's Jen's complexion, and my grandmother's Jen's complexion.
That's believable.
So a few things had to mix in order for me to show up like this. A few dark skinned folks had to get involved in order for me to show up in the middle like this.
But I was showing somebody a picture of my grandparents today, my father's mother and father, and they're both Jen's complexion, but my dad's your complexion, right? And so the first thing that somebody would be like, well, I must not, but he looks just like his dad, But that's just how people of color are. We can just and then I'm lighter than both of my parents. So it's just all.
I told you my siblings are redheaded and freckled, and we have the same mom and dad. They are redheaded and freckled. I kind of look like my sister, but whatever.
It is amazing. I just have to say something right now. It is amazing that you can eat.
How good we look. How good we look.
No, you can eat those freeze-dried fucking potatoes, and not one of them shits affect you, man.
Yeah, I still eat Happy Meals. I like Happy Meals. They're bad for you, but I'd still like it. Nice little portion of McDonald's, shot of McDonald's. Semen is mainly mucus. Most women I know have no problem going down on their husbands or boyfriends and find it to be sexy. But the idea of having semen in their mouth kills many of their interest. It's the gooey texture, but mainly the bad taste that makes them say no. A lot more men would get head if they treated it as foreplay and not the main event. A lot more men would get head if they treated it as foreplay and not the main event. In other words, your semen tastes horrible. But not all of you guys. All of you guys. Like sometimes it tastes like some warm, sweet milk. And then other times I was like, what the fuck did you eat? Dude, this is horrible. I felt my throat sizzling. I was like, my fucking throat is sizzling. But yeah.
They gotta
sometimes it's yummy. Sometimes it's yummy. So whatever it is you gotta do, guys, to make it taste yummy, do that because it's more appealing. Because if she knows, okay, when he comes, it's gonna taste amazing. Do that because Jesus.
I have a suggestion for you guys: pineapples and lots of water.
Yeah, I remember you said that before, Lily. Yeah, about pineapple.
Well, any kind of like sweet citrus. Any kind of sweet citrus will do that. So like oranges, grapefruit, pineapple. Like I know pineapple's not citrus, but it's acidic. So like any kind of sweet acidic fruits will do that. Yep. They'll alter it, apparently, right? Mm-hmm. I've never done an experiment, swallowing my own cum after 3 weeks of drinking orange juice.
But you've heard.
Right.
Yeah, and needless to say, don't like eat asparagus before you do that, right? No one wants to taste that.
The main thing you want to do though is you want to drink a lot of water. A lot of people just don't drink a lot of fucking water, man.
I drink
so they have all kinds of things going on in their gut health and so on and so forth. Things that aren't dissolved that would be better dissolved if you drank a healthy amount of water. And kidneys and shit like that. And a lot of people just have a healthy diet of soda and whiskey. So you want to just have some more water, man. And yeah, fruit is good too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I have found that the pineapple works like faster and better. Like it takes less of it, and it gets right in there. So
you've experienced it where
I had to tell a guy,
the same guy. He was like with one way and then without the pineapple juice, and then he drank the pineapple juice and you experienced difference. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And then what I did was I tried some other fruits just to see, and it was the pineapple. I'm a scientist like that in my head, so I figured the shit out. I'm like, we're gonna make this shit work.
So you were like, do an apple today, and then you was like another day, you was like, with me it was weird. I don't even know if it worked. I was always like, eat a candy bar. I don't even know if that's connected to, but it was the fucking candy bar that did it every time. I was like, eat a candy bar. Eat a candy bar, eat a candy bar. And for some reason, I don't know.
With your glucose levels, maybe that's the connection. Because, like the pineapple juice is really high in glucose.
Very much so.
So it might have something. That's why I don't drink a lot of it, because it's so filled with sugar. It's like drinking like a can of Coke.
Fruit is horrible in itself when it comes to glucose.
Right. But it's like when you make it into a juice, it gets concentrated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you could drink a lot more of it than, say, eating it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe it'd be better to just eat pineapple instead of getting like a concentrated pineapple juice.
Right.
It's like loaded with like 80 grams of sugar.
I loathe pineapple though, so I can't do pineapple.
Really? Oh, that's terrible.
I don't like the smell. I don't like the taste.
Does it make your mouth itchy?
No, I don't like the smell, the taste, or the texture. Since I was a little kid, I was just like, "What?" I don't know. It smells and tastes like can to me. I know that's going to sound weird, but it's like metal. Like I don't know. I never liked pineapple. I never got into it
because you were eating out of a can. So you created that association of like tasting metal. Did you ever have
my
it
dad
fresh?
used to. No, my dad used to always. He was a bodybuilder, so he was into all the, the fruits. So he brought the real pineapple and the watermelon but for some reason, the smell of pineapple, it didn't. I was like, why are you guys eating that? I don't even want to look at it. I don't know why. I don't know what the avocado and pineapple.
Well,
Quick
Jen, it
question,
may be
Jen.
something like a genetic thing. Like for me, cilantro tastes like soap.
Me too. God,
Really?
I
like
hate cilantro.
There's people who are like that.
But I looked it up. And
Okay.
it's a thing. Like either
A genetic
cilantro tastes.
thing.
Yes, either it tastes really good or it tastes like soap. To me, it tastes like soap. So like when you put it in my food, my whole dish is going to taste like soap. I hate cilantro. It drives me nuts.
That's good to know, Lily, because I cook with that. That's good to know. So I won't put cilantro in your arroz con gandule.
Oh, thank you so much.
Here's a
question,
tip.
Jen.
Oh, go ahead.
Jen, quick question, Jen. I know your dad and a lot of your other family members, they used to work out. Just curious, did you eat a lot of organ meats in your house, like liver, like lamb heart and shit like that?
I love liver.
Like that?
Yes. There was always liver. There was always freaking, like my dad used to bring, I don't even know what kind of fish that was, but like these huge slabs of fish, liver. Like, yeah, my dad was like, he used to eat, like, he was one of them egg swallowers, just a lot of stuff.
Oh, so he must have been built, he was probably built like me, but taller, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that stuff will help you pack on muscle. Like
that's
eggs,
old school ways.
Organ, that's old school. That's straight up old school bodybuilding. So your dad was an old school bodybuilder.
I mean, yeah, 70s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, you could turn somebody into a bull on that goddamn diet.
Yeah, my dad was a beast. Can we not talk about my dad on Freaky Friday?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I was just curious.
Hey, you brought it up.
I know I did. I'm sorry. It was my bad. Back to Freaky Friday.
Back to talking about cum.
Right.
So I wanted to add a tip. So guys, you can take what is it? Sunflower lectin, right? It's an herb, comes in a vitamin form, not like a hard vitamin, but it's like a gel cap, right? With like liquid inside, like vitamin E. But yeah, it's called sunflower lectin. They're pretty large, and over time, maybe about 2 weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks of like daily usage, it increases your load size. So now you can get her whole face and not just her lips.
Yeah, more moisturizer.
Yeah, we're talking bukkake levels.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, if you want to increase your load size, you can take sunflower lectin. Zinc also helps. And what was the other one? Pygium or Pygium. It's Pygeum. And especially the sunflower lectin and the Pygium, these help tremendously with increasing your load size.
I second that, because zinc is really it boosts your testosterone for you guys that don't know that. Zinc.
Well, I take zinc every day, so I didn't know that. How about DHEA? How about DHEA?
That's not any linked. That's nothing linked to your semen. Well, I don't think so. I mean, I've not heard of it. So it could be, but I've not heard of it.
Yeah, well, when I went on TRT way back, they did this cocktail up with obviously testosterone, and they put DHEA in it, and that was supposed to enhance the testosterone, in my system and all that. So I just
I've not heard of that. I've been on TRT for 13 years, and I've not heard of that before. But,
yeah.
Sure.
Yep, it's good for you.
You're muted, Jen.
You're muted.
TK, you got
all right.
TK, you got one more. You got one more, TK. I'm gonna put you in timeout. You got one more, and then you're out of here.
What's TK saying?
Just hot garbage. Okay.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage. You got one more, buddy. One more. Someone said black seed oil. Red apples are nasty. Yeah. Peaches. Does TRT work?
Yes, of course it does.
Yeah, it works.
Dude, you're straight up injecting testosterone into your body. Hell yeah, it works.
Although you do want to do your research, we're not telling you to just
yeah.
buy some fucking juice and just shoot yourself up with it. You got to know what you're doing, man.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
You do.
I've had knowledge and experience in that. I spent a year studying, you know, different esters, different kinds of, you know, testosterone before I even tried that shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you also want to know how much to take so you don't friggin' blow your fucking balls off, you know what I mean, and shit like that. And no, I'm serious. I'm dead fucking serious.
You won't get injured. The worst things that can happen.
No, but not saying that, but I'm saying to the point of like you know, you got guys who overdose on it and you basically shut down your own testosterone. So you got to know how to basically, you know what I mean, you know, work it. Do the knowledge, do the work, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. One thing that I noticed in my experience about it is that when they first put me on it, I think my key count went up to like 1700. I felt great, but I noticed that not roid rage, but I was a lot more edgier. I mean, like it wouldn't take much for me to like.
That's because you were probably not on an AI, okay, which is AI stands for aromatase inhibitor. So what happens is your body wants to maintain homeostasis. Okay, so your body senses extra testosterone in your system, and it raises your estrogen, right? So that's where the roid rage really came from. When they're taking a lot of testosterone, that means a lot of estrogen was being produced at the same time without controlling it with AI, and the AI just brings it down to like a normal level. So that's where you also find guys who are like built. It doesn't really happen much anymore, but I remember when I was a teenager seeing these jacked dudes in the gym and these little teeny squeaky voices. And it's because their estrogen was getting too high and was altering their vocal cords. And so that moodiness, right? That's from not controlling your estrogen.
Sounds about right. Because I know girls who have to take estrogen to transition, they are like that. The estrogen, when it goes up and it's too high.
Yeah.
Woo! I mean,
you have to control it.
Yeah.
See, balance. Okay, don't come for my Happy Meal because I'm drinking this too. Okay, balance.
There's like 24 grams of sugar in there. I know all about that one.
But there's, but the testosterone is also good for
8.
Oh wow! Okay,
8
per serving. So that means there's 16 in there.
1 serving per bottle. Okay. Don't come for my stuff, okay? You was corrected twice, coño. Back to Freaky Friday, oral sex, our love, hate, awkwardness with oral. Okay, and I hope you guys are writing this stuff down. This is good information, you limp dick motherfuckers.
Just real quick.
Write this down. All this information, the books, the medications, the shit. Write this down.
Yeah, Don Levon, if you want to just shoot me a DM and I can talk to you about TRT, because there's a lot of details about it. So just go on Instagram, and I'm at Mr. Justin _X, and you can just DM me about that stuff and we can talk.
Let's see how freaky everybody is. Let's push the envelope.
The envelope. All
Let's push the envelope. Snowballing. Who's doing it? Yay or nay? Chat, you can answer as well. Snowballing. Who's doing it?
What's snowballing?
Yeah,
snowballing. Snowballing is when you come in her mouth and then y'all make out after. Snowballing. Who's snowballing?
No, she swallows too fast. It's like no. It's gone. There's not enough time to snowball.
Snowballing is pretty freaky now. If we're on Freaky Friday, that's pretty freaky.
I mean, I've seen 2 women do it in front of me after I nut in one's mouth, but I don't do that.
No.
Not sexy. Chat, what do you say? Chat, what say you? George is quiet. George may like a little snowballing. What say you, George?
No, I've never done that, so it's kind of like I don't know if I'd like it or not.
Oh, okay. Would you be open to it?
Yeah, I'd try it. If with the right woman that I felt a certain way with, right? I don't want to make that too mental, but yeah, I wouldn't mind trying it.
Okay, so you wouldn't mind tasting your own semen?
Now you put it that way.
That's what snowballing is.
Yeah, I'd have to. I don't. It's kind of like a lot of things. It took me a lot to go to see a femdom, right? And finally break out of those barriers and stuff like that. So it's kind of like I have to be kind of maybe slow walk to it or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of, I don't know at this point whether I like it or not.
Okay, Rod is stupid. Rodville said, I moved from Chicago to get away from snow. Was that the stripper's name, Chicago?
Oh, shit.
I'm quick, baby. I'm quick. Lily, snowballing.
I heard it. Can you believe I haven't done it? I know,
yes.
everybody like
I haven't done it either though, so there's two of us.
Okay.
No one on the panel has done it. What kind of freaks are we? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh my God.
No.
I'm not doing that.
The whole panel? No one's
Never even crossed my mind as something desirable. Like
it says it's a kink.
I didn't even know. Well, of course, there's millions of kinks.
Okay.
Millions of kinks.
All right, so no snowballing for nobody. Tony Skrilla says that's disgusting.
But Jen, is it one of your prerequisites? For
I'm gonna be honest. It would. I'm gonna sound super soft. It would freak me out if a man wanted to taste his own semen.
Now I've met people who
it would freak me out. I'd be like, "Why you want to taste your own semen? What the?" Unless again, but it goes back to what Haran said. If that moment was crazy and the passion and the music and the liquor's flowing and I'm well oiled and he's well oiled and it's crazy and we're spinning on each other and pulling hair and fucking and sucking and then he comes in my mouth and then he's like, fuck that, come up here and makes out with me and I got cum dripping down my neck, then it's fair game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've met a couple of guys who
happening.
It happens. Should be happening.
Yeah, I've met a couple guys that's their fantasy, but I never got with them.
Oh, really? They was like, I need that snowball, Lily.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the reason why we didn't get together, but it's just that it just didn't happen. So yeah.
That's a very high level of self-love right there.
Yeah. I mean, they wasn't want to get it because I felt like that's
that's mine. Give it back to me. You don't get to keep that shit.
Like, what are you doing?
Give it back.
Yeah. Not Virgo, no, not at all. I ain't one of y'all. I don't know what's wrong with your belly, but no, I'm good. Oh, wait a minute. Does Last Sam have a point? He said, Jen, that's why freaky men stay in the closet. Did I just kink shame the snowball? I don't think I kink shamed. I just said I kink shamed.
No, you judged the hypothetical man who would want to taste his own cum.
I did. I'm sorry. That's not allowed on Freaky Friday. I did do that.
Yes, you did.
To me, that's your preference, right? So I don't see anything wrong with it.
I did prejudge.
It was a formal judgment.
Yeah, we like to let people live on Freaky Friday.
My bad. Snowballs for everybody.
Like Oprah.
I don't know about that one.
My wedding day.
Everybody get a snowball.
For my wedding day. And I'm not getting married.
My bad. All right, guys. Do you want two women giving you head? Is it a fantasy? You're like, whatever, I don't give a damn.
Now, Jen, you know.
It's happened.
You already know how this ass are going to go with them.
It's happened.
It's happened.
You know a guy. Once upon a time, there was a man named.
I've never done it. I would do it, but with someone I'm not. Not that I think I'd ever be in a committed relationship again, but I would have done it. Probably, I would do it probably with just somebody I'm kicking it with. I wouldn't do that with someone I'm committed to.
I just realized me and one of my homegirls
the
did it
direct
before.
opposite.
You're the opposite.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Why?
It would be more like, if me and my girl wanted to bring somebody else in, and then obviously it would be someone that she more so approves of,
Right.
and then it'd be something like that where she's basically like a toy that we're using. So that's probably the only, so like she's like the main, and then we're just bringing in this toy to play with. And so I think that would be like the only, I don't know. It's not something like I think about. I'm not one of those guys who thinks about threesomes or like, wants to have an orgy with multiple women or something along those lines. It's just never been it's like too much commotion.
That's so rare because guys
really
be so quick to ask
unicorn on the panel,
right? Because guys be so quick to ask you about like hooking up with you and one of your friends, right? So I'd be like, oh yeah, well what's up with Tyrone now? Since you're so free to ask me about such and such, okay, cool. What's up with such and such and such and such, And then that shut. They oh what 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 you were so easy and open to do it, so I feel like I can ask too.
Sure.
Right? But
we've had that set on the panel too before. There's people been on the panel. I was like, yeah, I'll do it with another girl, but I don't want another man. Blah blah blah.
That's true. That's me.
That's you, George.
Yeah, I mean, 2 women, but not I'm not sharing my girl with another dude. Ain't happening. Just ain't happening. I don't care if it's hypocritical. I don't care if it's
Pourquoi? What is it about it? Can you pinpoint why?
It's the whole thing with kind of goes back. I don't want to go too far into this, but it's like it's kind of triggering for me. Okay, I'll leave it there.
Okay.
It's like I will fucking kill them.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
We cool, George. We cool. You cool. Everybody cool.
Good. I'm nothing else.
Yeah.
I think for me
it is. It's a fair question.
I think for me it's more like just the way I'm sexually with dominance and focus, and like I'm trying to dive deep, right? Not wide. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't like spread myself over because I wouldn't be able to dominate more than one woman as effectively as I could dominate one.
Wow.
Right.
Maybe
that's just me. Like maybe
no.
That's amazing.
Do that, but
that's amazing. I've never heard of. Well, I don't know. I don't really hear guys say that they don't want a threesome or think about threesomes. Right. It's rare. Or I haven't had a threesome. I have heard.
I'd be open to it, but it's not something that I'm seeking.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Justin on that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more to manage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then your girl gets jealous because you're paying more attention to the other one and all that.
Oh.
It could be. It depends on how you play the whole scene. Yeah. It depends on how you play the whole scene, right?
Yeah.
Like because if you spend the time with making your girl feel like she is the queen in that situation, and you're giving her the praise, telling her things like, I don't know, baby, I'm fucking her, but you get my cum. She doesn't deserve it. Only you do. Right. So like giving her like preference in multiple ways. And that's just
the right way to do it.
Now I was about to say, that's not bad. Wait a minute. I'm chewing. I haven't swallowed yet. I'm chewing, picking up what you're putting down. So would you be saying this out loud or like before?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's sexy. That's sexy. I'm not mad at that.
Right.
I'm not mad. That's how you should introduce a threesome to your girlfriend, guys. That right there.
Right.
Yeah, you could. It just depends on how your lady is. You know what I mean, or who your active sexual partner is.
And see, for me, if it's going to be threesome, it has to be, if my partner and I are choosing to do a threesome, it has to be someone like out of town. Like we're not gonna see her again. She don't live around the corner. She don't live in the same city. She's not one of my friends, things like that. Cause somebody might get fucked up. Right?
Lily, spread love.
A lot of violence tonight on Free Fridays. I'm just saying
violence. Back around. if you try to circle back round for round 2 and I'm in a photo shoot and now you over there for round 2, we're gonna have some problems. So I figure if it's out of town situation, we're good. But then I was thinking about the two girls sucking the dick thing, and I realized, oh shit, I did suck a dick with one of my girlfriends back in the day. But let me tell you, the story's funny. So, it's a funny story. So,
let me get my last chicken nugget. Let me get my last chicken nugget. Go ahead, Lily.
So, you know how like I am big on the whole oral thing. That's my thing. Enjoy it, love it, and I'm good at it. Right? I could do fucking classes or something. I think that's what I might do. I might teach classes. Right? Yeah. I'm using a banana.
Lily, say no more. Tutorial. Say no more because I wanted to do a class. Let's connect.
Okay. Let's get together. So
you can put it for sale on Gumroad, and then or Patreon.
Okay, so we're gonna discuss this. Yeah, so my girlfriend, was giving head to this guy, whatever, real nice looking guy. And so she comes in the room I was in, and she was like, "He wants you to watch." I'm like, "Oh well, I'm always down to watch. I'll be right on in, right?" So I went in, and she's doing her thing, and I'm just like, "What is she fucking doing?" Right? Like, is that what she's considering it? But she didn't ask for my help, so I'm just watching like I was instructed to do, right? Mm-hmm. But then I guess she might have picked up on it or something. I don't know. And she was like, and then she looked over at me. She was like, "I know you the head goddess." She's like, "How am I doing?" I said, "Girl, She was like, "Well, come over and show me." Girls, move over.
You didn't grab the back of her head.
We did all of that. Of that. It was a hot session. So yeah, but I will say she left out that day a better head giver, and I'm very proud of that.
Okay, so who did the guy finish with?
Oh, come on now.
Must we ask?
Yes, we must ask on Freaky Friday.
Actually, me and that girl are still friends to this day, and we still laugh about that. And that happened in 2006. So that's how long ago that was. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We both had just moved from DC or whatever. And yeah, it was crazy times. Very, very crazy times.
Lily, let's talk. The guys, they haven't, of course, didn't know about this. But circumcised or uncircumcised, does it matter? Is one better to deal with than the other while giving oral? Or it's like whatever,
For me, it doesn't matter as long as you're clean. Just know how to clean an uncircumcised penis. Know that after you use the bath, after you pee, make sure you take a tissue or a napkin or a wipe or something. Make sure you get everything drip, and then wipe. All of that good stuff. And yeah, you should be okay. Other than that, it's cool.
Okay, now anybody on the panel who wants to divulge and confess on this Freaky Friday, or anyone in the chat, do you want to talk about whether or not you're circumcised or cut? Anybody in the chat? Because for my next question, I need to know. So anyone in the chat or anyone on the panel wants to say whether or not. If you don't want to say, that's fine. If you do, then that's fine too.
Well, I'm Jewish, so I'm cut. So
okay, you're cut. Anybody else on it?
No, I'm cut.
Okay, so I can't ask you guys. Hopefully somebody in the chat's not circumcised. I was just wondering, my question is, if you're not circumcised, have you found yourself barely getting head from women? Because I would
think like women prefer that less?
Yes. Like I did. Okay, I watched a video one time, but it was porn stars. And they were asking them, which do you prefer better, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, most of them said it doesn't matter. But I was thinking that was because of their profession. Now, I think that, again, it's conditioning because a lot of guys are cut. So when you do see one, and I've only seen 2 my entire life, just 2 that weren't circumcised. And I was like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do with this shit? It wasn't the same experience, but if I was, in a community where most of the guys weren't circumcised, then that would have been my norm, right? So when I saw it, I was like, "What the like?" And not because of aesthetics, not because it's just because I didn't know if I was too. I'm an artist. I like going in, right? And when it's not circumcised, I'm like, am I gonna hurt him? How far back can I push this shit? Is it better if if you maneuver the extra skin while you're doing the salt and pepper? Like, I didn't want to hurt him. And then when I felt like my hands were kind of tied, and I'm like, I can't fucking paint. It's like a painter, and you give me some brushes, and there's no paint. I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to make for you? You didn't give me paint. I'm an artist.
Well, Jen, I know a girl who was the complete opposite, and here's why. She's only been with Puerto Rican men because she's Puerto Rican. She's only been with Puerto Rican men who are typically
Thank you, George.
Who are typically uncircumcised.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she got her first circumcised dick, she felt the exact same. She was like, what do I do? This is weird. I don't know what to do with this. So it was the complete opposite for her. So that's understandable if it hasn't been your norm.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't. I was like, I'm gonna hurt him. Am I gonna pull it? Am I gonna rip it? I was like,
But apparently from what I've heard, I don't know how they would exactly get this information, but I heard that men who are uncircumcised actually receive more pleasure.
Yes.
I heard that too, because they have the nerve endings on their little turtleneck.
Right.
I guess. I don't know.
Too.
No,
because there's scar tissue. I mean, it's very thin scar tissue, but there is scar tissue from getting cut. So, and scar tissue has, I wouldn't say nerves are dead, but they're weird nerves.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a very true thing. That's been definitely.
Donovan, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you trolling me? Please don't say that. Are you shitting me right now? You just blew my whole fucking night. Are you fucking shitting me? Are you serious? Is it for real?
I'm looking it up now. Oh shit, I just had it.
Please don't. Please.
As soon as I put in Tom, he was the first one that popped up, girl. And it
Please
says,
be alive. Please be alive.
No.
Oh, fuck my life.
Yeah.
Why did you know this person?
He was one of like my dream actors to work with. They're a very, very small group of actors, and that my heart was set on, like, hurry up, Jen, get in the business so you could work. Oh, that just blew my fucking
61.
night.
61.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
That just blew my fucking night. Yeah. Like Tom Sizemore was, oh, fuck my life. I'm like, it just reminds me, like, girl, do what the fuck you got to do so you can meet. He was, he wasn't the most famous person on the planet, but something about his work just always fucking touched me. And I was like, I'm going to work with Tom one day. Oh, that really fucked me up.
Those
that
are
really fucked me up. God,
I wonder if he was circumcised.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I hate y'all. I'm gone. I'm fucking gone. Damn it. Anyway, woosah. Somebody say something, because somebody say something about sucking dick.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Okay.
Somebody say
so
something about
circumcised
sucking
dicks. Okay.
Goddamn.
We're at the 2-hour mark, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man.
Is this where we run a commercial?
Yeah, definitely. We'll come back from break. We'll come back. Go to break. We'll come back. Oh, fuck, man. All right. Shake it off. The show must go on. This is showbiz. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, here we go.
Yes.
Okay, when's the last time everybody sucked a dick? Yeah, it's been a while for me.
I can't answer that.
All right, let's talk about what was the best dick sucking you ever got, and why? And why? What made it so? And don't just say because she was into it.
No, but that's what I was gonna say. It was the enthusiasm. It was the unbridled enthusiasm. Like, I can't get any more of your dick in my mouth. That was her attitude. And it was a great attitude to have.
So let me press a little. What if a girl is
Has all the enthusiasm but zero technique? Like,
yes,
using her elbows and shit. You're like,
yes, that's my question. What if she's like, yay, I love dick sucking, and then she's like, like it's like you're gonna be like, whoa, wait.
Yeah, you're not supposed to blow in a blowjob.
I mean, I'll say it like this. For when it comes to a woman, I tell women, like, dick sucking is like fucking up a hamburger. You can fuck up a hamburger, but that's like the easiest fucking thing to fuck up. Not to fuck up, because it's like all you got to do is just basically handle the meat with care, cook it correctly, pay attention to what you're fucking doing, and don't let the shit burn. If you can't suck a dick, if you literally can't actually grab a dick and suck the dick, if you got teeth scraping all over it and you just sloppy and shit like that, and it just turns into a thing.
It's not that easy.
Right. I was about to say. No.
There's a skill to this, Haran. I'm telling you, it's not that easy. And
well, okay, well then, okay.
It's not, Haran. It takes technique.
You're talking to the dick-sucking girl here. It's not that easy.
I will leave it to you.
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly.
Maybe I've been spoiled. You know, maybe some women have made it look easy.
I was just about to say
yeah, right. Your girl was good. The girls were good, but it's not easy.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. I've never had a horrible dick sucking experience.
It's just like, never.
Not a horrible, horrendous one. Nah,
like teeth or mouth too loose or none of that.
I will say this. You know, I've had situations where women had to accommodate and not get teeth involved and so on. But a horrendous experience, like some of the experiences that I hear, like never heard that. Like.
Don Levon, blasphemy. Even blasphemy. Even though I like the picture he has on, I like the profile picture he's using, but eating pussy is not easy.
I wouldn't say
so I don't know. What constitutes horrible, right?
And what head? I mean, eating pussy or tucking dick?
No. Like getting head as a man. Like what would constitute it being horrible? I've had boring head, right? Where I'm just. Like I could literally just be ignoring and just doesn't draw my attention at all. Like I've absolutely have had like that before.
What's boring?
Well, my guess would be like dry. They're not into it. Mm-hmm. Teeth, too hard, too rough. You know,
like too fast, right?
Mm-hmm, too fast.
Yep. Too fast. I actually kind of like a lazy mouth. Because that allows for like the throat fucking to be easier when they've got a lazy mouth. But no, it was more like, what you said, lack of enthusiasm. Sometimes thinking they need to have more friction when that's necessary, or not having enough friction. Let me see. Yeah,
I will say one thing before
fast. Yeah.
I will say one thing before I forget. Okay. There was one time before where, and this did get on my nerves. I was with a girl who was basically I was hoping she would massage my penis and get me, where I needed to be, but she just kept pulling the shit and yanking on it. I'm like, yo, this shit is not a fruit off of the, off the gummy tree that you're trying to get. I'm not into the women who yank your fucking dick. Mm-hmm. Like they're trying to, pull it off. Like that soothing motion, that, really, understanding what you're doing. Don't yank my fucking balls off, and shit like that. You don't
like a good tug? You don't like a good tug, Haran?
A good tug is cool, but there's a difference between a good tug and you're literally trying to snatch. It feels like you're literally trying to snatch my fucking dick
then
off.
There's guys who like that shit. And
I'm not one of those guys.
But see, that's the point that I was about to make. Every man is different. Right? So it's our job to be in tune with that man and look for listen for sounds, be aware of body movements. Like you can tell when it's like, oh, that's it, that's the technique. Because what I do is I kind of go through a list of techniques and I'm like, oh, that's it, that's his thing, right? And then I'm like, okay, boom, I got that. Then I'll add some more to it. And then like when dealing with the balls, some guys, that's a whole nother world. Like that's a whole nother world, because some want you to rub them, some want you to suck them, some want you to lick them, some want you to slightly pull them, some want you to fucking yank them. Like I'm like, god damn, this shit is painful for me. Like, so everyone is completely different, but it's so important to be in tune with the partner.
Yeah, my friend who's just to go off the balls thing, my friend who's a porn star, he gets nauseous just by having them touched. He's like, don't touch my balls.
Right.
Don't touch
I've
them.
met that. Yeah. Yep, I've met that too. So everyone is completely, when I say completely different, and that's why it's not easy.
Yeah, I actually don't mind a little tooth.
On your nuts?
No, on my during head.
Oh, exactly. Okay. Yeah, because some people be like, don't bite it. Some people be like, bite it.
Right.
I don't mind a little bit of scraping, or even like a little like,
Holy shit! Some men hate that.
Yeah,
unicorn.
Exactly.
There's a unicorn on the panel.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone is different. It's very important, and it's equally as important for the man to direct and like, because the body languages, the noises, and all of that, that's also awesome. But then I don't know if you're the tug or puller. So like when I go do my thing down there with the balls, let's say, if you want me to tug harder, say that, because I'm not going to do the hard tug off GP, because I know that's not the norm. So I kind of go with like the norm stuff first, and then you kind of gotta direct me from there. If you see that I'm kind of staying in that zone, I'm staying in that zone because your body language told me to. But I need you to verbally tell me if you want me to go further. So that's equally as important.
It is. Hey, Tony Skrilla, he said something interesting. I've got a chick I still mess with from time to time. She talks during head. I was like, hey, can we talk after? Sheesh. No, that's an opportunity for you to seize control. And that's kind of her thing. She likes to talk, or she's going to talk. So that's an opportunity for you to seize control and tell her what to say, right? And you can start directing the situation, right? Instead of just letting her like freestyle or whatever she's doing, saying what she wants, you tell her what to say.
It sounds like she's doing that to distract the fact that she don't like to give head.
Maybe.
But then I don't know. I don't know what he means by she likes to talk during that time. Does he mean full blown conversation? Like, I got to do laundry later. I wonder where I left my keys. Or as she like, yeah, motherfucker, like you gonna like talk. Right, sexy talk. Like, which is it? Like, what do you mean talk? Is she talking with the dick in her mouth? Like, what is that? Did we talk about whether or not it turns you on if a woman swallows? Did we talk about that?
I mean, it turns me on.
Turned you on? Chat? Justin?
I don't know if I classify it as a turn on. It's more of like an acceptance thing. It's like it's like she's wanting to consume like the most valuable thing that your body produces.
Okay.
Right. And so there's just like, I don't know if I guess I would call that like more of a mental turn on than actual arousal turn on. Right. Where she's like, yeah, I want to consume you. Right. Like that's hot, but more from like a mental, like a conceptual place.
Yes. I shall not confess.
You shall not confess that it turns you on? Or doesn't turn you on?
I shall not confess.
Okay.
No, actually, it is Freaky Friday. No, I was in a situation. Dude was a subscriber of the platinum package. So I used to be like, I want to carry you around with me. So, you know, that type of thing. Like I was so like in love and just sick on him and drunk on him. And I was like, I want you in me when you're not around me. Like I want you in my belly and in my butt and in my, you know, after you leave, you know what I mean? You'll be in me swimming around still for like, you know, for however many hours sperm survives. So yeah, I'm telling you, women get crazy when we fall in love. It's just, we're nuts. We're fucking nuts. Got to be careful.
Yeah.
To be careful.
Especially if she swallows, then she is likely to cut you if you mess up. If you,
I cut him. I did cut him. I cut him.
That's what I'm saying.
I fixed it though. I patched him up. I did. I patched him up.
That was nice of you. That was very nice of you because others wouldn't do that.
I was like, oh, it's just a little blood.
You can do, right?
It is the least I can. I was like, listen, it's just a little blood. Come on, walk it off.
Because come on, we care around these here parts.
Right.
We do. Okay, Tony is elaborating. He said she is just a talker, but she is fine as fuck though. So then do what Mr. Justin said.
Right. Either direct her to speak or tell her to shut the fuck up. Just like that. Like, shut the fuck up and get to work.
I don't know. Men don't understand that women like that shit. I don't know. They don't fucking understand.
So you can go one or the other. You go one or the other, but don't like just let her do what she's gonna do. Like direct it in one way or the other. You just make it stop or take it further the way you want to take it. The talking of it.
That take charge doing sex, baby.
Yeah.
You get whatever you want in life.
Let me make you a sandwich. Don't even get up. Let me get that warm rag for you. Okay. Your feet will not touch the cold floor.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You will get the warm rag.
Look at me being the sub. You will not touch the floor.
Oh, instantly become the motherfucking sub. Okay.
Yeah. Guys, you got to learn. You got to be more confident. This right here. I like a girl using no hands and she's giving me head, all mouth skills. I hear guys say that no hands. Ma did it with no hands, right? Shorty did it with no hands, right? And some guys, you know what I mean? They like what are we doing? Is it a yay or nay? Because some dudes are adamant.
It depends. I would say there are more no hands people than not, in my opinion. But
really,
in my opinion, but if you know what you're doing, you can do the whole salt and pepper and still make it do what it do. You know, because the no hands thing is that's an extra skill. That's a whole different situation. So, you know. Yeah.
For me, in order to get off, like I appreciate, and it's very hot to have a blowjob without hands. But if I'm gonna get off, the hands need to be involved, because if they're not, it's gonna turn into like a very rough skull fucking in order for that to happen. and I'm not gonna, like, my girl's not there. She's not there for that. You know, she's not there yet. And you know, I don't know if she ever will be, but that's not like something I'm striving to like train her for. But you know, I mean, unless like that's something she really desires. But so in order to get off, the hands need to be involved.
And how long have you been with her?
It's been 7 months now.
Oh, you guys are new. Okay. And what, I'm just curious. You seem like a very wise man, right? Very in tune sexually. What made her qualify for you to be like, yep, I'm gonna hang out with you?
Well, it certainly wasn't anything sexual, right? It was just her willingness to be with me. And I had to kind of like pump her brakes for a little bit, because she's used to guys wanting to get into relationships after 2 months. And I'm like, no, that's not happening. Like, this is going to go at my pace. And so she kind of had to get used to that. but other than that, like it was just more of like a willingness to be open to obedience, and she was open to learning, which was a huge thing for me. She was very much open to just listening to explanations. She was asking me questions. She's still asking me a lot of questions, like, what does this mean, Daddy? What does this mean? What does this mean? And so like having that willingness to learn and the eagerness and the openness, that's what really, instead of being like coming in with her cup full and being like, oh, this is what I know, right? And then like that's you, like in order to learn anything, you have to at least halfway empty your cup, right? And you can take in that new information. So that's what that was. But it was a bonus that she was just already very sexually experienced, and she was very comfortable with herself for the most part. And so that just made it easier.
Okay. And by very sexually, what?
It sounds like a fucking tornado outside. Like it's like kind of spooky.
Where
I didn't know
at?
you could hear it, and I was about to put it on.
Oh no, we can't hear it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Someone
can't
asked
hear
me,
it
Dawn Levon, she's 42. I'm 45. Yeah, I've dealt with women from 19 all the way up through all the different ages, and I'm definitely happier with older women.
Oh, well, dig that, Don Levon.
Yeah, like
ain't that funny?
Like 38 and older is like so much better, so much more relaxed.
Check the private chat, you guys.
Okay.
That with the men as well. I don't like young.
Gotcha.
Young men don't do nothing for me.
Yeah. Yeah, the young bodies are cute. It's like, it's nice that, you like pick them up with one hand and toss them across the room. But there's so much insecurities. There's so many layers of like just bullshit. And they don't know themselves well enough. Like they haven't had enough dick to really know what they like, what they don't like. And and it comes with a price, right? So the older women, like they've got their scars, they've got their battle wounds, like mentally, emotionally, sometimes physically. But with that comes, hopefully, if they're not too emotionally whacked out, hopefully that comes with some wisdom. And that's another thing that my girl has. She's drawn wisdom from her good and bad experiences of being with men, and that's been invaluable as well. And 20-year-old girl is 22. Yeah, she's the fun, sexy, like tight little body, but like there's only so much you can do with that. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I was just curious, Justin, when you said that she was experienced sexually, like how so? Like multiple partners, or she was just good at?
No. Well, she's had multiple partners, and she's been in long-term relationships. She's been married. She's had not only like a certain volume of experience, but also the types of experiences. So she's been with certain lovers that were like a little freaky in this way, and like this other lover was a little freaky in that way, or she did like, went to the sex club and experienced this thing. And, so like, I think that just having that wide variety of experiences is also what allows her to know herself so well and able to bring about comfort. Right. But the comfort comes from kind of like, learning, like just learning from a lot of stuff and doing one's best to not bring the emotional stuff that comes with that sometimes.
Yeah. So before we close, what do you feel about like when men talk about body count and shit like that? As far as women
my question.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. A lot of that is insecurity, right? Because we looked at remember the stat that I brought up, 18 to 29, 63% are single. Now, granted, that doesn't mean they're not getting laid, but I have a suspicion that also means they're not getting laid, because they could be single and still fucking.
No,
right?
I have a strong suspicion.
Right. But yeah, they're most likely not fucking either. So when they when they hear women, they can have more, like you take the average, say, 30-year-old woman and compare it to the average 30-year-old man, she's going to have way more sexual experience than him. Way more. Like at least double. Okay. And so he kind of has this general idea that that's the case, that he may not have a specific number in mind, but he can just kind of generally assume that she has way more experience than he does. So that means she now has a more experienced palate as to what's pleasing and what's not. And he's thinking this and knowing it and comparing himself to these things, and it makes him feel insecure and weak, and he just can't deal with it. He can't cope, right? And that's where the body, it really has nothing to do with. But so instead of focusing on that and really understanding that it's their own insecurity, they mask it off, right, and put other reasons in front of it, and they're very like justifiable reasons. There's a lot of plausible deniability, or not plausible deniability, but the justification and things like that. And they'll bring in religious reasons, they'll bring in sociological reasons, they'll bring in political reasons, all this bullshit.
They can't
right?
pair bond.
Yeah, they'll bring in so-called they'll bring in like pseudoscience reasons. But
we heard that before. She can't pair bond. A woman that's had multiple can't pair bond.
No, right. And you've had multiple partners. What were you talking about? That guy who you were so obsessed with him that you wanted to carry his semen around in you all day long, right? That's fucking pair bonding, and you've not been with fucking 3 dudes. Right. So really, like, all those layers and masks are there to hide the fact that he's just insecure.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. It's that
at the
simple.
end of the day. And
I gotta agree with that. I gotta agree with that, because when I hear the conversations and the justifications, I'm like, what? That doesn't even make sense.
It never makes sense. And I'm just waiting for a person to be honest enough to be able to just say, listen, my ego can't take it. That's all. Like, I'm insecure.
Right, but that would that if you could have that conversation without getting freaked out, be like, hey, listen, like it makes me feel a certain way, that I have the suspicion that you've been with a lot of people. And if you could have that conversation without being judgmental about it, and making her feel like there's something wrong with her, then you could probably get somewhere, right? But if you're always coming at it with an attitude of judgment, which is pushed by an attitude of fear and insecurity, you're not going to get anywhere.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, men. I swear.
Then at the same time, they're out here trying to get laid. What? By the same women that they're calling hoes. It's like,
right.
What are you doing?
It doesn't make sense.
It's like, what I forget the name of that symbol, but it's a picture of a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that.
I was about to say, they're in their own way. Like, men are so much in their own way. They talk about going their own way, but they're in their own way with the stupidity. That's why women are like, fuck off all day. I'll just go over here with this guy, and to hell with you and your traditions and your religion and your pair bonding and I'm having fun. Who's coming?
Right.
Pause. All right, guys, this was amazing. Mr. Justin, it's always a joy when you are here. We learn so much. I will get that book. I'm curious to see what other women are fantasizing about, seeing if I'm crazy.
So for those that came in late, check out My Secret Garden on Amazon. It's all about, it's a collection, an anonymous collection of women's fantasies. Check it out. It's fun.
That's cool. And stay tuned for Lily and I's Patreon or OnlyFans. We will be teaching how to give head. It's going to be very interesting.
Very.
Hands and no hands.
Hands
and no hands.
There you go.
Hands and no hands. Nut play and no nut play. All kinds of shit. Pressure, suctions. Salt and pepper, no salt and pepper.
I think you should do it.
What to do when your mouth gets tired, how to fake it out for a couple minutes so you can get it back together and then get back in the game. Like all of that.
Check this out. You know what my girl does? She takes wine, the corks from wine bottles and holds them in her teeth to stretch her jaw.
I have an exercise too. I have an exercise too. I'll teach you, Jen. Yeah, I have an exercise.
Okay, show me that one. All right.
Yeah,
it's like when the muscles are stretched, then they cramp less.
Exactly.
Just like any other working out, you know.
Amin is ready to buy the class for his girlfriend. Bomb Cherry says, I am the oral queen. Okay. All right. On that note. I
love the confidence.
Right. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm gonna go more in my actor. Fuck. Tomorrow, Sexy Saturdays, if we're all available. Are we all available for Sexy? We do Freaky Friday, Sexy Saturday. So we'll come through tomorrow and do something else. Mr. Justin, you're more than welcome if you're bored or not doing anything to stop by, pull up or whatever. So tomorrow we'll do Sexy Saturdays. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody learned a lot. This was fun. And good night, guys. Thank you for holding me down in the chat.
Right.
I see you.
Thanks for coming again, Justin.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a good night.
Ya.
Okay. Good night, guys. Good night. This was fun, you guys. If you're still here for any reason, don't forget you want to support the show because you're catching the replay and you couldn't make the super chat. Hit me on the Block with Jen Cash App. It is scrolling on the bottom. Do you see it? It is scrolling on the bottom. Support the show. Shoot me a Cash App. Thank you for the people who have sent me Cash Apps that, it is discreet. The Cash App is discreet. I don't shout your name. I feel like that's where you want to send, your gifts anonymously. So I don't like shouting you out, but thank you. I do see you. And all right, guys, I am out. Thank you for holding me down, chat. And we will see you tomorrow. Come back for Sexy Saturday. If you guys aren't doing anything, we'll spend the night together. All right, guys. Good night. That was fun. Okay. And we're out.